Why Humans Avoid War, Chapter 21, Kylon Point of View. A human hand clamped down on my shoulder, jolting me out of my slumber. "Wake up, General." The voice was firm and insistent. "We need to talk." I groaned, taking a glance at the clock. It was less than an hour since I drifted off, and I sorely needed the sleep. As much as I liked Commander Rykov, he better have a good reason for waking me. Can it wait until later? No, we have a problem, a major one. Was that fear in his voice? My brain snapped to attention in an instant, and I rolled out of bed without further protest. If it frightened the commander, it could only mean one of two things. Either the humans had done something terrible, or there was an apocalyptic threat on the horizon. I wasn't sure which one I was more worried about. Rykov led the way out of my quarters, weaving a path through the flagship's winding corridors. His silence was unsettling, and rather out of character. As tempting as it was to demand answers, I had a feeling I was going to get them soon enough. We turned into a conference room where two individuals were waiting for us. I recognized the Devourer refugee from our earlier adventures, but not the blonde human sitting next to him. The human was slumped in his chair, looking defeated and exhausted. Byam had a distant look on his face, not even reacting to our presence. The commander cleared his throat, frowning with displeasure. "Captain Larson, please repeat what you told me, including the part about leaving a refugee camp to their deaths." Captain Larson flinched as though he had been slapped. "With respect, sir, our fighter was crippled and out of ammunition. It would have been an exercise in futility. I don't want your excuses. Just start from the beginning," Rykov said. "Well, to keep a long story short, we set up a refugee camp on a military base, which the Devourers attacked with no warning. Their shields got an upgrade, none of our main weapons worked, and most of our fleet was killed in action." The blonde captain paused, gauging my reaction. I managed to keep my expression neutral, but a knot of fear was forming in the pit of my stomach. "Our CO ordered us to retreat from the system. We believe they'll be en route to Earth shortly." It had been mere days since the Terran's decisive victory over the Devourers, and their weapons had already been rendered ineffective. I shuddered as I recalled how easily the humans had blown through the capital's defenses. The Federation's artillery seemed like toys in comparison. If none of their firepower worked, we didn't stand a chance. I couldn't help but feel responsible, as I was the one who persuaded Rykov not to glass their world. In hindsight, perhaps the Devourers should have been put down, while chance permitted. It would have been the pragmatic option, though not the moral one. To my recollection, Ambassador Johnson said something along the lines of "I'd rather they die than us" in her infamous Senate speech. Now, with the entire galaxy facing extinction, maybe the Federation would understand those words. "Did this base have nanite weapons?" I asked. Captain Larson sighed. "Of course. All of our outposts have them." I didn't even want to address the implications of that comment, since it meant the humans possessed thousands of those reality-bending missiles. A stockpile of that size. Were the Earthlings planning to level a small galaxy or something? There has to be some sort of weakness, some chink in their armor, I mused. "Smaller weapons. Those don't exactly pack a real punch, though." Larson drummed his fingers on the table, eyes rolled back in thought. "They're vulnerable to ramming tactics. Not that I'd try that first." "Those options are less than ideal," I agreed. "How soon will they reach Earth?" "My best guess, a few hours." Right. We were doomed. I glanced at Commander Rykov. Please tell me you have one of your terrible plans. Well, not even a smirk from the dark-haired human. He was avoiding eye contact, which wasn't a good sign. I think we have to bring out the doomsday weapons. I almost keeled over in shock as I tried to process his words. Those nanite bombs, which could disintegrate an entire fleet, weren't their last resort weapons? According to their simulations, those had a 5% chance of destroying the universe. Whatever Rykov was referring to, it had to be truly appalling. I'm sure I'm gonna love this, I grumbled. What exactly are they? The commander looked at the silent biome, his frown deepening. We call them grav bombs. They can be used to cause a stellar explosion. Some in the Federation will see us as monsters, they already do. But we need to finish the job. Humanity had the power to snuff out stars? They could render entire systems uninhabitable in a flash, damning species with the wave of a hand. By now, I was well aware that they were a dangerous species to befriend, but their capacity for violence never ceased to amaze me. Why would they even dream up such a thing during centuries of peacetime? No doubt leaders in the Federation would ask the same question if this plan worked, and perhaps rightfully so. At least they would be around to raise those concerns. I couldn't see another way forward. If the Devourer AI wasn't eliminated, it would be our worlds reduced to dust instead. Captain Larson leaned over, nudging by him in the shoulder. What do you think? Do it. The Devourer refugee shifted slightly, face void of emotion. There are fates worse than death. We've suffered enough. And you, General? Do I have your blessing? Rykov asked. Always. One thing, though. Won't the Devourers see us coming, try to stop us? I'm sure they have left some ships behind. We'll have to fight our way through. What about the ones heading for Earth? According to Biome, they're programmed with a kill switch. If they lose contact with the homeworld, we wipe out the AI, we kill two birds with one stone. I grimaced. What we were about to do amounted to genocide, and I can't say it sat well on my conscience. Millions of enslaved Devourers would perish along with the AI, and there would be no opportunity for us to rescue any of them. Despite his calm words, the strain on the commander's face told me he felt the same burden. It has to be done. We should set off as soon as possible, I said. Rykov nodded. Right then. Larson, Biome, disembark at once. My guards will escort you out. But sir, we want to join you, the captain protested. That was an order. You both look like hell. The commander turned toward me, and I noticed the dark circles under his eyes. He didn't look so good himself. General, follow me to the bridge. I have a private matter to discuss on the way. I loped after him, finding it much easier to keep up with his brisk strides than before. The nanite therapy must have had a positive impact on my fitness. I certainly felt stronger, younger even. That reminded me, I needed to work out a deal to bring the technology home. It can improve quality of life, revolutionize the field of medicine, and bolster our forces. With human innovations in our pocket, we could bring about the new golden age of the Chitauri. Perhaps it's not the right time, but I hesitated, trying to find the right words. If we survive all this, I was thinking the Chitauri could help with your nanite research. If you want partners, that is. Yes, that's what I wanted to speak to you about as well. The commander ran a hand through his hair, sighing. I promised you no more bullshit, so here's the truth. You understand how dangerous nanotech can be. The last thing Earth wants is it falling into the wrong hands, so they don't want it leaving our territory under any circumstances. I see. That wouldn't happen to include me, would it? The human was silent. Well, shit. Am I a prisoner? I wouldn't do that to you, but others will. I've liked having you on board, and I thought maybe you could stick around as my first officer. You're suggesting I join the Turan military? Yes. A command post sounded better than a dark cell, that was for sure. A permanent stay with the humans wasn't quite what I had in mind, but it didn't sound like I had any choice in the matter. Rykov clearly had known what exposing me to the nanites would entail, but I couldn't fault him since the alternative was for him to let me die. However, the thought of never seeing home again was almost too much to bear. And something told me the humans would make a public procession out of my transfer, using it for PR purposes. My legacy would be destroyed, my name cursed and slandered among my people. I would be remembered as the general who jumped ship at the first sign of trouble, and that I could truly not live with. Not my first choice, I said. I know. I'm sorry. Do you know what my people do to traitors, Commander? Because that is how they will see defection. The ones they capture, they gut from head to toe, then pour acid inside their bodies. And your bloodline is considered tainted for 100 generations. Your family mocked and beaten. Any feats you ever achieved burned from the pages of history, your name only spoken with the most vile curses. It would be better to die. Then we tell them you died. With honor. They don't know you're alive. That might be acceptable. I will think on it. My primary loyalties would always lie with the Chitauri, but perhaps I could find a way to guard their interests from afar, the same way the humans kept an eye on their neighbors. If it were up to me, our species would work together, but if the Turan Union was so determined to keep its progress to itself, a different approach was necessary. None of those concerns would be relevant if we failed in our missions, of course. The fate of the galaxy hinged on the next few hours, and it would be nice if just this once, everything went according to plan. That would be the end of Why Humans Avoid War Chapter 21. If you liked it, leave a like on the video. Leave a comment for me telling me why you did or didn't like this. And if you have a full day ahead of you, I hope it goes well. And if you are going to bed soon, then I wish you sweet dreams. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.